Time to figure out how to properly review this movie without spoiling anything. Welcome to Box of Chocolates, where you never know what you're going to get. Today you're getting my opinion on the new film, Companion, in theaters now. There's been a lot of talk about the trailer for this movie, and how much it may or may not give away, and how much it should have given away. I definitely want to talk about that, and talk about the movie without giving away as much as I possibly can. This was being compared to Barbarian, a movie that I loved, a movie that I found utterly unpredictable and original. And going into Barbarian, not really knowing much at all and having the rug pulled out from under me multiple times was an amazing theater experience. And while this is a very different movie, it's always nice to be surprised. So I'm going to try to keep that element of surprise intact for you while still talking about it. So the positives for Companion, essentially you have Jack Quaid and Sophie Thatcher. They're a couple going to hang out with some friends in this remote location for the weekend, and some shit goes down. Wow, is that all I can say about it without going into spoilers? Some shit goes down, some violence goes down, some characters turn in certain ways unexpectedly. But our two lead actors are great. Jack Quaid is a really likable guy. He's one of the Nepo babies that nobody really has an issue with. But when you need to dislike the guy, he's really good at that too. We saw that in Scream, and there are shades of his character in this where you really dislike what he's doing in certain scenes, and you just want him to get his face smashed in. And there's other scenes where you're like, you know what? I buy this guy as being totally normal and down to earth and fun. Like, he's really good at playing both of those types of characters, or a character who ranges between them. And Sophie Thatcher, she's been a little bit of a scream queen as of late. She was in The Boogeyman. I don't have to talk about that movie at all, but she was good in it. And then she was in Heretic, which I loved, and now this. And she's fantastic here. There are a lot of shades to this character that she has to portray, a lot that this character goes through, a lot of different states of mind that she finds herself in, where she has to behave very differently than how she was behaving earlier. And she pulls it off beautifully. There's a lot of specifics to how her character needs to behave in certain scenes. Let me just say, she balances the way her character is kind of supposed to act in certain scenes with the way she's really feeling deep down. Balances that really well. The rest of the cast is really good too. This is a good look into relationship dynamics and senses of entitlement that some people can sometimes feel about what they're owed in life, what other people owe them, what kind of relationship they think they should be able to have. And I was a little worried early on that it was going to be really on the nose and heavy-handed, but it wasn't. There is certainly some social commentary that you can read into it if you're looking for it, but the primary focus of the film, as we see through several of the twists that happen, is just to give you a really fun, entertaining thriller. The message is very clearly and naturally communicated, and this movie is a ton of fun. Whatever the trailer does show, there's a lot more after that. Even after we get past some of those things from the trailer, I didn't know where the movie was going to go, and there were several more reveals that I did not see coming. It's only like 90 minutes. Wonderful. Consistently entertaining the entire time. It's very funny too. It's definitely a horror comedy, thriller comedy, whatever you like to call it. Comedy is a major element of it. It's very funny. Some of these actors, like Jack Quaid, as serious as they have to be in certain scenes, other times their line delivery is just so good. The juxtaposition of some of these very dark events happening and the kind of nonchalant way that they happen, or way that they're presented. Some of the editing is really funny. The way we'll cut to flashbacks as characters are explaining something, and then we'll see exactly how it happened. There's a lot of really good jokes in here. There was a lot of laughter in my theater. It's definitely pretty unique and original. I really loved the teaser trailer. It didn't really show much. It really kind of just established the tone and a sense of intrigue. But honestly, I felt like the last scene that's shown in the teaser kind of hinted really heavily at what was going on. I guessed generally what the deal was based on the final scene of that teaser combined with the title Companion. I didn't think it was a huge secret, but then the full trailer came out, revealed it explicitly, and a lot of people got pissed. But I am here to tell you, the main reveal that's in the trailer happens really early in the movie. And then after that, I had no idea where it was going to go. There are several more twists after that, and even before they reveal it, the way they talk around it, I thought it was really fucking obvious what they were talking about. I honestly believe that most people who watch this movie without watching the trailer will be able to guess, for the most part, what the reveal is going to be. Now, do I think it's better to go in knowing nothing, without watching the trailer at all? Yes, but I believe that for every movie. That's why I barely ever watch trailers. If you haven't watched the trailer yet, should you see the movie without watching the trailer? Yes, but if you have seen the trailer, the movie is not ruined for you at all. You can go in and still have a great time. This is not like Terminator Salvation, where they revealed the twist in that trailer for like no reason at all. Like you just didn't have to do that. This is more along the lines of Abigail last year, where yeah, you could have gone in not knowing that, and that could have been nice, but ballerina vampire is the premise of that film, even though they don't reveal it immediately. That is what the film is about, and that is the selling point. This film is about the thing that's in this trailer, so I see why they put it in there. Honestly, I have to nitpick a few things if I want to get into my negatives. I think there was a little bit of CG blood. I might even be wrong, but there was a little bit of blood that looked a little bit off. Would have looked nicer if it was practical. There's one situation that a couple characters find themselves in towards the end of the movie that was kind of a very standard, cliched horror predicament that I've seen in many movies before, where I was like, oh, well, I know exactly how this is going to go. And even one of the actors who was in this scene had been in a very, very, very similar scene in another horror movie not all that long ago. So I was like, this is kind of weird. Are they doing this on purpose? And in regards to the main thing this movie is based around, there were a couple extra questions that I had. They weren't essential, like you know everything you need to know in order for the movie to happen, but there were just a couple extra questions that I had. One in particular that I would have liked to have an answer to, but they weren't needed. Those are really small things. I was thoroughly entertained the entire time. And man, I want to say more specific things. But just in case you don't know, I still think it's kind of obvious. And I'd love for you to tell me, like, did you only watch the teaser? Did you not watch anything at all? Do you think it's obvious? Am I giving people too much credit? Like, I don't think it was that big of a secret. And I think the movie works really, really well, even if you know. And if you don't know, you can rewatch it and you can pick up on some smaller details you didn't notice the first time. But like I said, the way they're talking around it, it's clear what they're talking about. The reveal happens early on. It's a super fun movie. It has some things to say, and it does it in a really pretty subtle, natural way. Great performances. It's really funny. It gets dark. It gets violent. When you think about some of the things that are going on, these are some actually very dark things that these people are going through, but it remains so entertaining. It's the best experience I've had at the theater so far in 2025. I loved it. It's a 5. I had a great time. I definitely recommend it. We live in a world where we have so much information at our fingertips all the time. It's hard to hide things. It's hard to sell people on things, getting people to go out there and actually support things at the theater, especially when they're original. You know, you got all these people who are like, how come they don't make original movies anymore? Yes, I only saw Deadpool and Wolverine last year. Why do you ask? You gotta hook people. And a lot of people probably know while they're making their movie that if they have some surprises, at least one of them is going to be in the trailer. So I would happily watch this movie again as soon as possible. I had a great time, but that is all I have to say about that. Please let me know your thoughts on Companion down in the comments below. How much of the marketing did you watch? What was your experience with the movie based on that? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Agree, disagree, whatever, we can talk about it. If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe to the channel so you can see more from me. Thank you so much. I appreciate it, and I'll see you next time.